Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Babel. Joining me is Jay Hao. And we're ready to go into the winner bracket finals of the HGC Road to Blizzcon Southeast Asia qualifier.
It's been an exciting day so far, to say the least. These games have been a lot more competitive than I anticipated earlier in the day, but at the beginning of the day, we also talked about the fact that with the changes to Deadlykittens roster, that some newer teams might show up. We might have a bit more of a competitive environment, and I'd say that we've hit the mark. However, Babel, we're on our winners bracket finals, and the two favorites somehow show up here. They got I mean, favorites, you can use that term loosely just due to the fact that both these teams have been pushed to the limits today.
They have been. Both teams have lost one game. Ironically, the first game in their own semifinals.
It's getting warmed up.
Yeah, exactly. And here, winner bracket finals, the rivalry is strong between both of these teams here. I'm excited because we're all the way here already. Let's take a look and recap on our journey of day one in the SCA qualifier for the Road to BlizzCon. As you can see here, we do have most of the teams that lost today still playing tomorrow. Onsom versus CBZAC, PATG versus Dracon. That's going to happen first thing tomorrow. Playstorm, they did lose to Deadlykittens, although it was a very close set, except for the last game, of course. Same can be said for Resurgence versus Detergents. And both of those teams will be waiting for their opponents in the lower brackets tomorrow. But here we are, Resurgence versus Deadlykittens. The last time both of these teams met, it was 2-1 in favor for Resurgence. Today, MSU is a little bit more tense because this is
a lot more on the line.
This is the playoffs.
This go around. And that's the thing. I talked to Innovir after the qualifiers last week, and I talked about this earlier in the day for those of you that weren't around at that point. Obviously, I think we're hitting all time zones at some point throughout the cast today. But I talked to Innovir after last week's qualifier. He messaged me. He's like, hey, we lost to Resurgence. And I was like, what happened? How did it work out? Obviously they brought in 2 new members after Mur and Zays have departed over to Taiwan. And so we talked to him, and I'm like, well, how'd it go? And he said that, game 1, we did well. He actually blamed the draft on game 2 and 3. But, it's new members working out a few kinks. And what we saw in that last game on Dragon Show, you talked about how it wasn't close, was a team composition that had a very direct motive, and they went in and they executed it throughout the entire game. From the minute that first skirmish on Dragonshire, from the minute it started, they were able to execute it, and they continue to do that. And Babel, no surprise, game number 1 here in this winners bracket finals, map selected by Deadlykittens is Dragonshire.
Definitely. I can see you excited. So am I. But before we go on with the show, I need to ask you, what are your predictions? Give me an exact score. Who do you think is going to win?
I don't know. I feel Resurgence probably has the advantage. I've liked what I've seen a little bit more from them thus far. When they do win, they look more dominant. It seems like Deadlykittens is still trying to figure things out. I mean, yes, they were dominant in their last game of that last series, but it wasn't necessarily the cleanest victory. There was never a time where I was like, oh, this is really bad, but it seems like Resurgence has kind of a stronger team. And, obviously you got to give the advantage to them qualifying last week ahead of Deadlykittens by beating them. So I look at this team and I think, Resurgence might have the upper hand, but I feel the experience from the 3 members, or 3 Filipinos on Deadlykittens, might have something to say. And there's something to be said about that, is that you bring in 2 players, you don't know what their nerves are like, but you have 3 very solid members who've been around, done a lot of competitive, done a lot of global and events. And so you have that on that side. Maybe it can bring everybody in. We saw the coordination last game, so wouldn't be surprised either way, but I would say Resurgence.
All right. I think it's 2-1 Resurgence as well. Going to repeat the success of last weekend, but more importantly, the main reason why I say that is because we've got possibly a cleaner communication in Resurgence compared to Deadlykittens, where they don't really have, they don't speak the same language together. It's not their natural mother tongue or something like that. But I like what I see from both sides, which is why I think a 2-1 scenario would be really interesting. But it all boils down to who plays what they're comfortable with, and we saw confidence.
Saw a lot of Genji.
I'm not so sure if Genji is going to go through again on Dragonshire. I would say that Zappy, we've seen him play Genji before as well. He is like a mirror to NSJ. There's a lot of shared hero pool for both of these players, and the last weekend's qualifier, I saw the VODs, and I think you did as well. the replays, they showed a very interesting group of strategy from Resurgence. I'm not so sure if they can replicate that kind of strategy here today, but I'm not going to spoil the surprise. We'll have to see.
It's something that I look forward to. You get to the winners bracket finals. You know they deserve to get here. We're ready for game number 1 between these two teams. I'm excited. Dragonshire, of course, picked up by Deadlykittens. We know at the midseason brawl and beyond, this was their battleground. Even with 2 new members, they say this is still where we want to excel on, and they chose it. We're going to be heading into game number 1 here in just a moment.
Yeah, and even internationally, where they played against more accomplished teams from around the world, Dragonshire is a map that they're so confident and comfortable with that we've seen them had a lot of success, or even just being on par compared to teams from the other regions where you had a really good show from Deadlykittens in the mid-season brawl, in the Eastern Clash, where they took games off SPT, where they took games off renowned teams. This is the map that they had a lead. They even had a lead in Dragonshire against MVP Black.
They've done a lot of things.
They've done a lot of things
to surprise people.
Yeah. So here we go, Dragonshire. The draft is ready. We're going into game number 1 between Deadlykittens and Resurgence. Let's hope the sights are right because this is very important.
Yeah, that's right. I was eyeing it before we got started, and no surprise, Resurgence instantly hovering. The Genji wants absolutely nothing to do with that. I can see it. You can't see that just yet, but Resurgence, they're thinking about it. And, you get this early into the draft. Maybe you think to yourself, all right, we know that we're going to ban Genji, but we have this 60-second time pool. Let's just kind of make as much decision-making as we can. Let's talk about if they ban this, then what do we pick? They end up with the Genji ban. No surprise. Now we got to wonder, is Ariel making it through? Is Tassadar making it through? I feel there's going to be heavy contention on those two, and the Tassadar hover right away.
Yeah. I like Tassadar getting banned from Deadlykittens. It's just one of those heroes that Resurgence play really well against in a game against Detergents. And here, removing the Tassadar is going to allow the Oriel to go through. And we've also seen Resurgence had a bit of success in the last game against Detergents with the Oriel. Here, I think it is going to be... I'm just excited, man, Jihao. This draft, this map, this setting, this final season of the year, and both of these teams meeting up the first time on stream in Season 4, Road to BlizzCon. Resurgence now. Oriel, do you want to go for it? Do you want to... Okay, yep.
They did earlier, and that's when they ran the Zul'jin composition. So anything's on the table. And you got to wonder, Deadlykittens, do you feel the need to take away Lunara, who's been really prevalent throughout the day? I think 100% involvement rate for the majority of our day, almost. We got to double-check that last series. But either way, Lunara, through the first part of the day, every single draft either picked or banned. Obviously, a great supplement to the Ariel pickup. And so Deadlykittens has to decide if they're willing to give that up. If not, even if they take that, Resurgence, they've already seen them fall back onto the Zul'jin. So there's a lot that we could potentially see Resurgence make around the Oriel composition. So maybe Deadlykittens just ignores it and picks something that they're more accustomed to.
I'm thinking the Grey Mane. I'm thinking the Deny on the Vala. That's also a possibility. The Haka is also a good pick. We've seen Endeavor and the Haka enjoy a tremendous amount of success, even in the one against in Cursed Hollow against Playstown, where the Haka single-handedly stopped the end of the game right there. It's going to be the Grey Mane and the Haka. They're sticking to their guns. They know exactly what they want to play. They are very trained on these heroes, and we're going to see how that's going to work out.
They've made great use. You talked about it, international competition. Deadlykittens was one of those teams that used a lot of Dahaka during the international competition at Midseason Brawl at Eastern Clash, and they're going to make more use out of it here. And you talked about the shared hero pool between Zappy on Resurgence and NSJ on Deadlykittens, and that's something to keep an eye on. But on this composition earlier, we saw Zappy on I believe the Karazim. And so it was, again, any hero that is able to close the distance to allow him to be aggressive, those are the heroes that you can expect to see Zappy on. Back in the day, I remember seeing a lot of Zeratul, things like that for him. He's been on Grey Mane. He's been on Karazim throughout the day. And so a lot of these heroes, we'll see what they go into. Because Lunara has been let through, I wonder if they're just really high on Zul'jin and they'll forego the Lunara pick. But you got to expect that Lunara has got to be considered here in this rotation.
Tyrael, Malthael.
Angels. All the Angels.
Yeah, all 3. Make it 3. Unfortunately, we don't have 5 Angels from the Injuries Council, but Tyrael, Melthil,
Blizzard needs to
Auril.
get to work.
Yeah.
Technically, you have the Angelic Diablo skin, so
No, that
could
doesn't
have-
count. That
I mean-
doesn't count. I'm waiting for Imperius, I think, and maybe throw in. Who's left? Who's left?
you know, I've made a lot of Diablo videos in my time, but to tell you the lore of it, I'd be lying to you. Been playing Diablo many years, but memories.
Oh, okay. We're gonna see a Cho'Gall ban. Yeah, it's a Gal ban.
Interesting.
They know what's up. Deadlykittens, they are just like, we're just gonna anti-cheese these just in case.
I mean, you have your solo laner, you have the added protection. This is generally how you build compositions, and you always do it with a first pick arrow. You never want to be second pick because of the way that it allows counters to come through. So definitely taking that option off the board.
Yeah, that also means that if you want to go for a secondary support on the side of, I mean, I've never seen Deadlykittens go for a secondary support so far. Rhaegar's one of the main few heroes that Deadlykittens really like to play. The alternative here would be the Uther, which I think Resurgence can decide if they want either of those heroes to be banned out. But I mean, it speaks volume. The fact that they had the Melthil picked up so early. That Melthil is a great deny against if in the event they pick up Cho'Gall. So that's gone. Resurgence now taking a little bit more time to decide.
The Uther ban, again, if you opt to go Lunara as Resurgence, then it's okay to give up the Uther. We've seen it really hard countered as of late, using the Lunara against the Uther. I think Rhaegar is a great pickup here if you're Deadlykittens. You can help into that dive composition, into the flanks of Dahaka. And it was something that, when I talked to Innovator, when I talked to Stronger before, and it was at mid-season Brawl, I was talking about how using Dahaka more as a flank-style hero instead of the traditional, we're going to side soak and then come in, maybe kind of at the front. And they started to adapt to that. And they talked to me, they're like, hey, like ever since we talked to you, I've been really playing this a lot better, trying to get that flank position. And so getting that flank position on the team allows you to hit that back line. So I want to see them try and use that a little bit more. Once you get later into the game, you get the forwards down, it really opens up the map for Dahaka to kind of get those backline positions. But Deadlykittens here. A new Barak?
Rhaegar. Again, sticking to the guns right there. Everyone's very comfortable on the side of Deadlykittens. You can see NSJ probably playing the Grey Main. Anubarak going to be played by Stronger. Dahaka by Aniver. Rhaegar by Jinwoo. Confidence last year could be a Chromie, could be a Li Ming. We've seen him execute some really good plays right there. Lunara is also a possibility. But Resurgence last two picks here. The Cho'Gall option's already gone. So they may want to consider something else. Double support, maybe Brightwing. What do you think?
Brightwing would be okay. It's just the matter of giving up last pick to Deadlykittens. They'd be able to counter that. I think Lunara or Zul'jin heavily considered, but for them, I think they need another backliner or potentially that double support to help with the Ariel. The lack of heals that we've seen, I think Brightwing would be the obvious pickup to have that global on this battleground to help Malthael get those picks at the top lane. But I don't know. We might just see the Karazim again, just to give Zappy that hyper-aggressive hero that he likes to play and to play into the double support that we've seen them do before.
Okay, Brightwing, and it's going to be Zul'jin. So they're playing a comp that they are really comfortable playing. Previously, we've seen this exact same comp with the exception that we had the Thrall instead for Zaz and...
Just hit me with another Chromie.
Yep. Chromie is going to work out really well here for Deadlykittens as well. Against Zul'jin, he is not going to see that coming. You don't have that kind of a space to pop Tastingo, so that works. Li Ming, not so much. I prefer to see Chromie. Alternatively, you may also want to go for a little bit more dive-centric. They've already got 3 heroes that can flank really well. Maybe go for Amelie Assassin with a dive potential.
If anything, I think it might be a little, but the fact that they've already got a new Barak and Dahaka locked in, I feel like this has to be a backliner. You need to have somebody else that can kind of help defend against the Dragon Knight. I feel Greymane does it well, but Greymane does more into that melee area. Vala would be another good pickup. Does well to poke down that Tyrael. Again, Tyrael, I think he sits just over 2,400 base health. He's got the built-in spell armor, so he's a little bit more susceptible to auto attacks, but Gul'dan, that sustained damage up there, might be something, could be a little bit troublesome to sustain against. So Gul'dan surprising me a little bit there, but I actually like the pick a lot.
I think that with double support, it is going to be a lot easier to keep up the health pool for Resurgence, but at the same time, if you think about it, Tyrion's got shield, Malthael's got that soul rip, a little bit extra HP regeneration, Tormented Soul's going in, Zul'jin's got Tastingo. They're not easy to take down, and you don't have a burst potential from a Genji. You only have got a Greymane going in on a single target. It's execution heavy, really execution heavy here for Deadlykittens, and I hope that they're able to pull it off, especially knowing it's going to be a Horrify. The timing of the Horrify is very important.
The Horrify and the Cocoon.
Yeah.
You have to have good synergy there. I think if you can
Exactly.
cocoon the Ariel, dive in, split the team, if Tyrael and Malthael decide to go in, you have a small window of opportunity to where you can survive. And we talk about auto attack speed. Zul'jin, he's going to have to prioritize. Is he trying to get he's trying to bust open the cocoon, or is he trying to burst down those heroes? Because Malthael, once he gets on that back line with Tormented Souls, it's a terrible thing to deal with. But you've got the Rhaegar, good AoE heals there. You've got the Horrify that can split that. The minute Sanctification's down, you split them, you get the Cocoon out. And there's a very good argument to be made for both sides here when it comes to post-10 team fighting.
Agree, and it's going to boil down to the early phases here to see who gets the advantage. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 1 of the winner bracket finals. I'm excited, Jay.
I'm ready. Winner bracket finals. You telling me Deadlykittens and Resurgence? I'm all for that as we head into game number 1 here. And it's going to be Resurgence on the left side in blue as Zappy. Not on that hyper-aggressive hero. He's going to be on the Brightwing. Meowpork on Ariel. Zesson on the Tyrael. Excuse me. On
Malthael.
He's going all over the place. All these angels everywhere. They need to stop moving. Yu Yang on the Tyrael and Capricorn on Zul'jin.
And on the red side, Deadlykittens, Confidence. We'll be playing the Gul'dan, NSJ onto the Greymane. We also got Anubarak being played by Stronger, and Enever onto the Dahaka Las Benalis, Jinwoo as the Rhaegar.
Well, we're going to see how these teams execute. Stronger, very aggressive positioning, and he just goes up, confidence. Going into the Echoed Corruption build. And I want to see how this builds out. I like this build a lot, especially when it comes to trying to deal with the front line, trying to get that late game damage. It does so well for the clear, dealing with the potential Dragonite that comes in. And then I want to see the cooldown at level 7. You see a lot of options at level 7. You go the cooldown reduction if you hit with the Fell Flame. You see the added ability power. There's a lot of different ways to build this. I'm really curious how we're going to see this coming out from Confidence.
Okay, Yu Yang. Capricorn taking a very aggressive stance here. Right-click Stronger a little bit. And Confidence takes a bit of a beating. The slow goes in. The stun on 2 targets in the back line. Zappy still. Some right-click. And the Arcane Flare. Yu Yang. Oh, last hit, but not going to get that. On to Stronger. He's going to be able to pop back home. Top lane, I think Malthael up against the Haka. What do you think there?
That should go over. It's a tricky thing. It should go over to Malthael. And it's one of the things that Inavir, he'll be able to survive, but it's going to be hard for him to win hard. And it's going to be something to where you're going to have to send somebody up to help, but you have the Brightwing Global that can match that. So you got to be careful how far you want to extend, how confident you feel. So you see the ping over on the side, and right now the early double support plus Zul'jin paying dividends.
All right, and Jinwoo trying to channel up the Shrine a little bit. Anashe with a bit of an extra damage there. Zappy trying to make sure Capricorn stays alive. Again, a little bit extra X's coming out. And top lane, it looks like it's fairly even, but Zess ain't going to win the lane right there against Enever.
Yeah, Enever is going to struggle a little bit before 4 until he gets that extra essence from the minions, which will help him a bit, but that's still a lane that Malthael will be able to win out. And so we'll see again. The power of the global of Brightwing, will it come in? Will we see Deadlykittens try and use the Dahaka to come down and take a fight bottom or maybe help defend middle? We'll see those answers here in a short bit, but right now, Deadlykittens and Resurgence playing to bit even here. Level 4 picked up for both teams.
All right, just making sure that the bottom lane aggression is not too over. Stronger, pulling back, and a slow coming in. Zappy with the flang. Got to be very careful for himself there. Yu Yang trying to channel up the DK, but it's going to be able to pull back out. Jinwoo goes in for a bite against the Brightwing. Capricorn swings by, lands those axes, but Zessen is here in the back line. Jinwoo in a lot of trouble. Will go down. Stronger also takes a bit of a damage. The last X flew across the map there, taking out the Anubarak.
You're unstoppable, but you're not invulnerable. As Confidence taking a bit of damage now as well.
Really? I don't know. You want to fight here, Capricorn? Last to hit.
As a Gul'dan, I think that you were a little bit too confident in the tower shots because there's no way you take that trade, but ended up getting the 1-for-1. Brightwing not able to make it down in time. And nice little fun entertainment there for everybody at home.
All right, so here we go. We got level 6 each side blue shrines going to its Resurgence, but Zessen top lane's going to need to buy some time. We see that Stronger shouldn't be here. Stun's already being used. He's going to be a bar charge back out. Confidence swings by. Tries to do a little bit extra damage, but they're just buying time at this point. Very confident and very comfortable for Deadlykittens to be in. Zessen, got to be very careful. NSJ's been missing for a really long time. The mid lane though, mid lane Stronger, dropping a little bit. We'll be able to pull back out. Bottom lane turns blue once more.
Stronger is just pushing the limits, Babel. He is just trying to see how much he can get away with. One time, not enough, apparently, as he stays in there. And again, you talked about Greymane. The thing is, Malthael recognized that and did not push out into lane. Greymane forced to rotate back down, still trying to play the long pathing game, stay safe. They're going to pick up a siege camp, and in return, Brightwing going to pick up one as well, playing neutral in that bottom lane.
I like the Gul'dan pickup because it clears the lane so fast. And you see Capricorn take a bit of a damage. The stun, not really going to connect on anyone. The clan's coming out already. Zappy being able to land a bit extra damage in the backline. Yu Yang comes in with the Aldruin as well. Enever now with the flang and the drag on the Capricorn. NSJ goes in for a jump but does not get any value out of it. Jinwoo also being able to pull back out. Malthael, top lane, secures the shrine. Bottom side, you got to make sure that at least they keep this blue for a little longer. We already have Malthael rotating down to the mid lane. And we also have got Dahaka Bing there. And we're going to try and buy some time. The drag connecting onto Malthael. Bottom lane is going to be lost here towards Deadlykittens, though. The stun connecting onto Capricorn. Capricorn dropping really low and will go down. Zul'jin's already gone. Zappy trying to stay alive. Will be okay.
That's the execution we saw from Deadlykittens last game. That's what we're seeing this time. We saw the corruption go out from Confidence, the dive in by Anub'arak, and the follow-up by NSJ. Trusting his front line, trusting the Anub'arak player, and they go in and they get the kill there. And that is an advantage to allow the Siege Giants to now push in here at the bottom with the only defense of Ariel and Brightwing.
Yeah, two supports, bottom lane. Don't think it's going to achieve much of anything. Probably going to lose the tower here. Mid lane, you're seeing the rotation coming from the bot side already. Meowpoke going to try and secure this shrine, but going to be very careful because, again, it's two supports without real damage coming in. Meowpoke buying some time, energy going in. Already some damage onto the back line, but Capricorn with the flank onto Jinwoo. Jinwoo takes a bit of a damage, pulls back out. We'll be okay.
Update on the talent questing. We see 24 stacks for Gul'dan on that Echoed Corruption. His nice tongue there landed onto Zessen. And his build, he goes into level 7, getting the slow when the corruption wears off, and that's something that when you have that mage-style backline, when you have the Zul'jin on the backline, they don't have the instant mobility that a Bala has, things like that. As nice Detainment Strike is going to take care of Rhaegar, but it allows an easier chase for Greymane, for an Anub'arak, for a Dahaka. So we'll see how that plays out as fights go on, but level 10 picked up here for Resurgence.
All right, looking at the top lane, again, you see Capricorn pushing his limits, but this time around with two supports, going to be able to secure that. Malthael top lane in a bit of a bad spot. Pops to Mantis Soba will still go down, and actually already in position. You can see that the way Deadlykittens is playing is very, very disciplined. They are able to rotate, identify the top lane, they need to make something happen, and you already see energy moving up there.
I got to talk to Confidence about his confidence there because that's twice now he's done that. One time it resulted in a trade. That time, I mean, you could have prevented 2 deaths as Gul'dan. Each time. You hide behind that fog of war because the gate's still up. You just dip back there. Instead, when you activate that and you're attacking the enemy team, it's there. It's there for the taking as level 10 picked up here by both teams.
Zappy throwing out the a little bit of the Arcane Flare. Will be able to stay alive, and a stun on the Stronger. Stronger is going to take a bit of damage as well. Malthael reclaims the top lane. 4 men in the mid, Enever in the mid. 4 men in the bot side, Enever in the mid lane up against Yu Yang. Very, very close game for both teams.
Close so far. Bottom gate down. 1 tower remains in the bottom lane as Deadlykittens trying to find an advantage. Gets some early aggression onto Yu Yang here in the middle, but not enough to confirm a kill with no assassins there. Malthael continuing to soak the top lane. And the experience, which was pretty much even, now Resurgence starting to stretch that a bit because they haven't had anybody at top lane as Dahaka finally responds. But in the meantime, Babel, both shrines now channeled on the side of Resurgence.
Meowpoke coming in, misses the stun. Bit of a bad spot, the stun coming from Stronger as well. Zessen in position now. They lose the top lane channel to the red team. Bottom side as well, we see Confidence there by himself picking up the bottom shrine. So far, so good.
So far, so good. And I look at the questing talents on the side of Deadlykittens. You got to think, the regen master for a Nubarak, the enhanced agility is, wait a minute, we've got ourselves a team fight. Capricorn is going to be feared as the cocoon goes out. That's exactly what I was talking about. You cocoon the Oriole, you fear the other. There's that synergy. Sanctification forced to be used. Deadlykittens on the assault here as Meowpork taking a lot of damage, but a good polymorph in return going to thwart off any further advancement. But Babel, that is the composition that Deadlykittens drafted. That is exactly what they just executed there to take control of this bottom lane.
Very nicely done. Good cocoon connecting on the Oriole, denying any potential save for his teammate. And that's it. They are looking at the bottom fort. They probably will be able to get it now and level, even up the EXP here. Still 4-man bot side. They're overextending a little bit. Got to be very careful.
Yeah, there's I was watching the health bar of Dahak on the top lane. He was really stretching that out as Yu Yang starting to dive onto confidence in that back line. Capricorn being very aggressive there on Zul'jin. Not able to follow up and get the damage. Another nice detainment strike. And NSJ continuing to look, but all of a sudden Innovator coming on the backside of Dahaka.
Flank. Oh, and we also see the Emerald Ring getting canceled already. We see Dastingo being popped by Capricorn. The backline confidence has gone down, looking for the trade. And the Cocoon gets canceled. Melville finally joins back. Zappy with the Emerald Win going out now. Endeavor will go down. We still see the Gremlin coming, the instant polymorph of NSJ, dropping a lot of HP. Meowpork looking for the heal. He gets it up. Jinwoo now dropping even more HP. And Zazan again stronger, looking for a 5-man team wipe. Meowpork pulling back. The stun goes in, and it's a 5-man team wipe. DK goes down.
That was an absolute bloodbath, Babel, and you got to credit the fact that they got the Cocoon out. I talked about it. We saw it there. The Cocoon was down. The minute Oriole comes out, she's got the Crystal Aegis. It turned the entire team fight. Meowpork helping to keep his team alive with the added support of Brightwing. And if you go back to the beginning of that team fight, Emerald Wind was attempted to be used, but Dahaka landed the tongue, interrupted it, thus setting it on cooldown. And then when it really mattered, Brightwing's like, you know what? That seems like a blessing in disguise, because here we go, turning the team fight with the Emerald Wind.
All right, we see Zessen in the bot side. He's probably going to be able to take down this fort here. There's not much of a split push attempt coming out from Resurgence. Probably just going to focus a lot more on the bottom lane. Zessen taking a lot of damage now. We'll be able to take down the fort and pulls back out. Meowpork can play a little safer, looking for the stun on the detainment strike, but doesn't get it off. And Stronger on the Endubarak giving chase.
Giving chase, we now have a level lead in favor of Resurgence, quickly approaching 16. That will be made up in terms of experience on the talent tier after this Dragon Knight goes down, as the boot goes in. Kick away, Zessen and team pick up level 16 here.
And Zessen still has got 20 seconds remaining on his Dragon Knight, but losing a lot of HP right there. And Zappy again staying alive a little bit. Capricorn going to be okay.
Echoed Corruption now finished. Lots of damage potential coming out from Confidence.
Zessen wants to pick up the healing well, but he's only got 5 seconds remaining, and he's a mouthful. Take note, he does not have much mobility. Probably fear the Reaper for an increased movement speed of 20%. That's about it, but got to be fine. So 16 against 15, we got a replay. Let's check that out.
There it is, and this is the...
That's the perfect replay. Okay.
I mean, this is it. I mean, this is, I think about the time we're going to see Dahaka, I believe. This is where he flanks. And if you watch the Emerald Wind, Zappy tries to use it here momentarily. There it goes, and it's interrupted by Innovator, which, again, it's a blessing in disguise as Taz Dingo was used, taking down Confidence on the Gul'dan on the right side. And then there's the Crystal Aegis. The minute that got popped, and then look at this. Emerald Wind, it came off cooldown there, turned the team fight big.
And polymorph. Zappy did go down at the end, but Meowpork still looking for the heal. Man, long cooldown, huh?
Long cooldown indeed. Stronger going to go down here momentarily for that 5-man team wipe that you talked about. But we head back into some live action here as 16 has been picked up by Deadlykittens to even this talent tier up.
Okay, you see Zessen coming in. Oh, man. A little bit slow on the synergy there, but Zappy going to get stunned. Stronger with the follow-up. The Ice Block going to cancel the stun already, and Zessen still going in very deep, but there goes the Cocoon coming out. This is probably going to get taken up pretty quickly and easily. Yu Yang on the field, on the bottom side. If Fear does connect onto Capricorn, he's going to be able to try and trade some right-click against Confidence. And still standing alive there. Full hope there from Meowpork. Means that it's going to be able to heal up pretty well.
Capricorn just being super aggressive, has those minions up there in that range, and it's going to allow them to dive as we see Tyrael going in on the backside, trying to get the dive in. Sanctification is going to isolate Confidence on one side. They're looking for more. The Holy Ground not able to lock anybody out. The minute those minions in camp pushed forward, Resurgence felt very comfortable with that Tyrael leading the charge. They get another pick here, 11 kills to 6.
All right, they get a fort. Bottom side, though, we have Mercenary Camp pushing the bottom area. Stronger up against Yu Yang in the mid lane. Got to be very careful here for Stronger. A little bit outnumbered, but meanwhile, Zappy in a bit of a tight spot does not have the ice block, giving chase against Endeavor. And there goes the isolation connecting only onto the Malthil. And also the Emerald Wind coming out. Endeavor with the Barrow. Looking for the runaway. Will go down.
Just a little bit too overconfident on what you can get out of that essence. And then, of course, Malthil just activating the Touch of Death, just recognizing you're not getting much heals. Jinwoo trying to get out of there as well. Again, Holy Ground not able to lock him in. Right now, Deadlykittens, their backs against the wall. They still have the global advantage, but Dahaka and team have to find more opportunities to kind of get the picks. We saw them execute it earlier. They haven't been able to do it since that earlier team fight. They attempted, but Resurgence seems to be more composed as we get here to the late game.
And SGA with the flank up to the top side. Oriel gonna be okay. And the mid lane all of a sudden, a little bit of contest going down there. Dahaka's already respawned. Stronger, a little bit of a tough spot for him to be in. But about Barrow charge already being used. Zessen still giving chase. There we have the Rave Strike going in as well. Confidence taking a bit of a damage, now pulling back. And Dahaka going to the bottom lane instead to try and pick up the shrine there. Stronger still gets the extra shield. Yu Yang dropping a little bit of HP there. Will be okay. Capricorn coming in. Nobody's going to help whoever's in the cocoon. And a nice Holy Ground. NSJ back against the wall there. Some extra access to his face will go down. Dahaka having to walk back up here to the mid lane. Resurgence, man, looking really good.
Resurgence led by Tyrael. Yu Yang, we saw it in the earlier games, is just completely controlling these games, especially post-16. And if you're trying to say, hey guys, if we go up here, we got this kill potential, let me get the tongue landed instead, they're going to miss, and now he's going to find himself isolated just a little bit. Confidence backing up. We're going to see these potentially channeled and have a DK. And I tell you what, Babel, level 20 will be here real quick once they get that Dragonite. And if Deadlykittens isn't careful, they could potentially lose game. They have to be very careful with their positioning, even if it involves giving up a keep. You have the Dahaka, but you also have Gul'dan, that echoed corruption. He went 16. If you land 3 of those hit, then you get that bonus damage out of that level 16 talent. We'll see if he can try and burst down this DK.
Confidence, foot to the face. We'll be able to pull. Will be pushed back, and mid fort looking to go down. Level 20 already hit by Resurgence. Now the fort does go down. Tower as well. And Zessen just knocking onto the gates here with a Fire Breath. We'll be pulling back to the bottom side where it's a lot safer for him to unleash those damage. Yu Yang looking for space to go in. You see Echo Corruption coming in. Very effective.
Just trying to land it. You get those hits onto a nice big DK target, it's great, but these DKs, since the buffs, just rip through these structures, and Confidence doing everything he can to drain that life out of the Dragonite. It still has 30 seconds left. They're going to wait to try and get some minions up here, but Gul'dan clearing out this. Zessen's going to be forced to eat a lot of these shots, but they're taking this keep down. They're taking it down quick.
All right. Okay, that boot didn't do anything. Melpock gonna pull back out. Careful. Zessen dropping a lot of Cocoon does connect. Dahaka looking for the Brush Stalker now. Still trying to push the top lane. And Capricorn in a bad spot. Aegis to save him, though. It's going to be able to pop. The Sanctification energy now dropping very low. And Central will not be able to save him. Zessen pulling back again. They lose the keep. This could potentially be game Dahaka with the flank in the backside. Most of the outs already down. And there goes Gul'dan. Stronger now coming in, but not able to do much. Emerald Wind being used as well. Endeavor now looking for the pickup against Capricorn. But right clicks does try much. And then we also have got the clans coming in. And this is going to be game. Jinwoo on the Rhaegar. Not going to do anything. Resurgence looking really good in game number 1.
The timing of the heroics on the side of Resurgence perfectly played. Yu Yang making sure to get that Eldruins in. It was a really good Horrify, but Yu Yang's like, I got your back, I'm coming in. Hits the Eldruins, hits the Sanctification. You've got Taz Dingo coming in as well. It's like a split second that you have, but you got to credit the Crystal Aegis coming out from Ariel there. Just plays made by everybody on Resurgence. I was really impressed just in that last team fight alone. Just in that last team fight alone, there were plays made by every member of that team, and, you know, they ended up 19 kills to 6 by the end of that. And that worked out really well. Really impressed with Resurgence.
And this is also Deadlykittens map.
That was their map.
It was the map, but I have to say that it on the fun site, Capricorn would really never thought that today would happen because previously when I was playing Vala, when he had one support, they normally just let him die. Like, I'm just gonna finish my rotation and die. But here, the moment he's in trouble, you could see that Aegis was used, Sanctification was used, Dustingo was used. Everything was used just to make sure he stay alive. It feels good. Feels good for him.
Feels good, man.
Yeah, feels good.
You got to credit. I mean, the fact that I see Zappy on all these heroes throughout the day, Kerosene, Brightwing, Greymane,
He's playing support
Illidan, he's been on everything. He's been on everything, and this guy is super flexible for this team, making this team work a lot. I've said this guy's name I don't know how many times this year, but it's normally for making plays on the aggressive assassins and things like that. And the fact that now, twice today, I've seen him on the Kerosene, play it exceptionally well. I've seen him on the Brightwing. Timing on everything is, again, I think that one, the interrupt of the Emerald win was a little bit of a blessing in that one team fight, but things really working out for him throughout the day today.
Yeah, really well done by Resurgence. We still have got a replay. We're going to bring that out while we wait for the next game. I hope it's supported signal right here.
This is it. The Cocoon into the Horrify. This is exactly what I said needed to be used, but you see Yu Yang throws down the Eldruin's Might, instant Sanctification, perfectly used there. And that's just kind of how things opened up. And they burst down the Greymane. And once they get the Greymane down, confidence goes down. Both your damage dealers are down, and there's no recovering from that if you're on the side of Deadlykittens.
Yeah, this is game right here. Oh, 3 charges of Emerald win, man. It's not going to be easy to work with. And you also see the Rykar dying there. Resurgence playing a fantastic game. They know they had the level lead. They know they were level 20. They took the fight. They had a DK, take up a lot of damage. Of course, full credit to Deadlykittens for maintaining the bottom pressure throughout. And they played it really well to clear the lane. But at the end of the day, I cannot really point out a mistake that Deadlykittens made. I think it's more like the fights, the chemistry between the players. You could see that Resurgence was very united on the same front. They know exactly when to do what. Every player did whatever they're supposed to do. There were good communications going on. The way they control the map was unprecedented. Previously, they just fall flat on a map that requires individual skirmishes, where they were really good in team fights. But here you see Deadlykittens, they don't really have the same amount of synergy going in. Confidence is a problem. It's a mid lane, a bottom lane, dying twice there. But full credit to NSJ. He knows exactly when to even and equalize the advantage when you're down a member. He went up to the top lane, picked up the Malthael. So it blows my mind that we are having such a good quality winner bracket finals here.
I would have liked to seen Confidence not try to go 1v1 against somebody right at his gate twice. But outside of that, I mean, they know what they've drafted the last few games that we've seen Deadlykittens. They've tried to execute it, and at times it shines. And that's exactly what they wanted to do. Anubrat goes in. He puts the Cocoon onto Ariel. You get the Horrify out. You split the team. You try to get the kill. And it worked out initially. The minute level 10 hit, they took the next team fight. They were able to pull it off. But then it was a quick adjustment on the side of Resurgence, recognizing positioning would be key from all members. They had Tyrael with the Sanctification that was on point at times. They had the Crystal Aegis. They were able to get the Cocoon down in order to get the Crystal Aegis. You had the Emerald Wind. And there was just a lot of quick adaptation on the side of Resurgence to turn those team fights. And every team fight after that, they used those tools to their advantage. And even past 16, Holy Ground, we saw in that top lane twice even, is that they forced the advantage. They recognized that they had the more dominant team fighting team at that point, and they were able to take the fight. So, very well played game, I think, all around by Resurgence. And as you said, Deadlykittens didn't play bad per se. They just got outplayed by Resurgence in game 1.
Yeah, it's just team chemistry, synergy, execution-wise, 19 against 6. I think that is a statement there. It's not like they made any glaring errors or anything like that. It's not like they threw the game. It's just more of the fact that they were not able to win team fights, and that's just because of the amount of response Resurgence has placed in this particular game 1. I'm excited for game 2, man, but it looks like predictions-wise 2-1, if this is going to be kept up. We're both going to be wrong.
I just said Resurgence. I didn't say 2-1.
I asked for a score.
I just said Resurgence.
You pulled out of the score.
Well, I mean, if I get it right, I don't need a score.
All right, gonna cheat right here.
My favorite map coming up next, baby.
Oh, man.
Favorite map.
Yeah. It's the
My
one
most favorite map. To play it, to observe it, to watch it.
It's mine as well. I made a lot of jokes about it.
Picking it up off the floor. I remember that. That set off a firestorm.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll reference that. We'll set off a firestorm and chat like, wait, Babel?
Yeah, we will. And Tomb of the Spider Queen.
Tomb of the Spider Queen. That's where it's at. And, it brings an entirely different meta. We could see more Malthael. It's something that, when we saw Eastern Clash number 2,
Yep.
Rich was really high on the Malthael pick. We saw mixed results from him
Yep.
to where they started to adapt. He started to move away towards that. But, I was looking at it, when I talk about Eastern Clash, it's where Deadlykittens actually have their best success as well against MVP Black at the Eastern Clash. But we saw these changes. I was looking back. Eastern Clash, the finals there, had the epic final between L5 and MVP Black.
Yep.
We saw MVP Black have some exciting games going back to BlizzCon against Fnatic, going up against Roll20 where they got 22-0, never forget, at midseason brawl. We saw epic games, and then we saw the epic core throw at Eastern Clash number 2.
Yes.
I think about that when I think about Korea, but here we've got SEA, but Deadlykittens did have some involvement in that at Eastern Clash number 2 against MVP Black.
They did. Well, they did better at the international stage compared to Resurgence. Fell 2-0 flat out against Zero, half of Zero Gaming, and the other one is L5. Of course, the only few key takeaways we had, small little moments of glory was where they won a teamfight one talent down against L5, but apart from that, Resurgence didn't really have much to boost much success at that. I certainly hope that this new roster from RSG will be able to move a little bit further for Southeast Asia. But I'm excited.
They got to get through this qualifier first, Babel.
Are
you already penciling them in to win?
I'm not.
Or are you inking it in to win? Pencil or ink?
I'm hoping.
Pencil or ink? How confident are you?
Not confident. Not confident, man.
Just because Deadlykittens is
all I can say is that, I would tell you that this series that we're watching here is really a mixture of feelings for everybody. And more importantly than not, it's a mixture of feelings for Deadlykittens because they really want this. The main reason why Merze's left is because the 3 remaining members want to bring this to the next level. And as we talk till the cows come home, game number 2, Resurgence versus Deadlykittens. Draft is underway.
Is that a saying in Asia, till the cows come home?
Well, it is now.
I mean, I'm from Kentucky in America. If we got any USA viewers that are awake right now, they're like, oh, Lord.
There we go. But I hope the best in SEA represents us and gets us a little bit extra screen time. Oriel instant ban. Look at that.
The Genji ban.
Yeah.
Recognizing that NSJ played Genji exceptionally well in the previous series. We saw Genji first banned by Resurgence last game, hovering it this game.
Yeah, they're just not going to let Genji through the Deadlykittens. Don't want to deal with that. There's also the possibility here that the first pick is going to be the Tassadar. Yep. I like that a lot. I think Endeavor probably going to be playing as a Tassadar. That also means the Deadlykittens for the first time in this entire day number 1 are looking at a second support.
Tassadar really count?
Yeah, well, it's half. But Blizzard counts. It's a support. So I'm just going to say that's
icon,
dual
you'll
support
see Tassadar.
regardless. It's more utility. It's more utility, more anti-burst, but whatever. Resurgence now with 2 picks. Probably want to secure the Tyrael as usual. Probably want to go for, I think, maybe going for something like an Uther as well. Yeah, looks like that.
How'd you feel about a Tyrael Greymane in this first rotation? Something we haven't seen a lot outside of, say, Korea. The Tyrael, Yu Yang has played a phenomenal Tyrael all day. We've seen Zappy on Greymane in the past. It would be a killer combo, I think, right now when I look at their drafts.
But up against anti-shield. Oh, okay,
Ooh.
right wing.
Interesting.
I have no idea if this is going to be Zappy browing, but we were talking about Greymane. The main reason why I don't like Greymane is because that means Uther is going to go over the Deadlykittens, but it seems like Resurgence doesn't care about Uther anyway. So, Deadlykittens.
The one thing that the Brightwing pick does is it denies, it's like a soft denial, but I find it to be a pretty hard denial, to a Tracer pick.
True.
And that's something that Deadlykittens, they've run in the past, and it's something that we've seen teams do quite a bit on this map. I'm not a huge fan of this on this map, but it's something that going into a Brightwing, a polymorph onto a Brightwing, or onto the Tracer from the Brightwing, is a scary prospect. And I think that now makes them say, wait a minute, and they go into the Illidan on Tomb
Against Brightwing.
against the Brightwing Tyrael.
Yeah, double support, Illidan looks really good, but this is Tomb against Brightwing, against Tyrael. You can expect more hard CC in the next phase. Probably, maybe even a Malfurion getting picked up here. Or we've seen that, right?
You've got to think that on Tomb of the Spider Queen, Illidan is not a high priority ban. I am really surprised that Deadlykittens is going this route.
I think it's too early.
I mean, it's Tomb of the Spider Queen. And you're not going to see a lot of Illidan value until the map opens up. You got to have the forts down for Illidan to kind of have that chase range. Else, the retreat points for Resurgence are incredibly short. You've got Brightwing for the polymorph. You've got Tyrael that can help with appeal, get you that movement speed, have the Eldruins out if he gets into trouble.
It gives shield.
Yeah, it gives the shield. I mean, there's just so much Tyrael brings to the table to counter this. The Illidan, I feel, could have waited. But maybe they've got another trick up their sleeve.
ETC for me, man.
Maybe they're going to go the Cho'Gall.
Duh?
I know. There's no way.
Cho'Gall without Auriel? Are you kidding me?
Rhaegar's the next best
Then the
option.
last pick is going to be Karazim. But for me, it has to be some form of a crowd control right here. And you probably don't want to go with Malfurion so early on because you probably want to flex the last pick. Couple of good options. Maybe even some extra stuns coming in here from the Haka. The Haka is still available, but Resurgence does not prioritize that. Greymane as well, but okay, it's going to be Malthael Uther.
I'm trying to wrap my head around this. For Deadlykittens, is that even if you were, I know it was crazy as it sounds, go to the Cho'Gall.
Malthael to deny
Malthael
the
level
Cho'Gall?
7's like, that's nice. Here's a nerf on that healing. Touched for death. Ancestral comes in. You're like, well, that had 0 value.
I don't think they need to pick Malthael so early on, unless they want to flex a last pick, which probably again a Zul'jin. Zul'jin without Auriel seems to be a little bit weak. Zul'jin or maybe a Vala. But man,
I just don't know where you go with this composition. ETC is a terrible pickup, I think, against Resurgence. I mean, you do get no mosh pit value. There's 0 way you can mosh pit. You've got a Tyrael Sanctification, you've got Polymorph, you've got Stun, you've got all kinds. You can go into the Stitches, but where does that fit into your composition?
kind of feel like a little bit in the middle, right?
I mean, any mage
Cassia?
option here does not look good. Tyrael has built-in spell armor. Brightwing has the spell armor on the pixie dust. You've got Uther for the armor. So you're going to a Vala.
Zul'jin again.
Big way for the bad guy.
Resurgence just being trolls right here.
Wait a minute. I see what you did there.
Still, Vala getting picked up. Definitely respect that a lot. I think that there's some good synergy between Vala, Tazda, Illidan, as well as the other support Rhaegar. But one solo Stitches as the front line up against Malthael, mind you. It's not going to be easy. Still, you would expect to see Deadlykittens with the dive for this game. They have to go in. This is without doubt. Because you will not, with Zul'jin's mobility, you're not going to expect Zul'jin to go in anyway. He's probably just going to play it slow, kite back a little bit. And that also means the rest of Team Resurgence is not going to go back to the front line unless warranted. So here, maybe that's why to pick Stitches.
I'm going to paint a picture for you. You tell me if you're going to buy it.
Okay.
Deadlykittens gets down. They give up the first two Webweaver waves. Struggle. They have Tass, Illidan, Vala. You get desperate. You go Bloodlust.
You're a really good salesman, but I'm not buying this, man. Jake tried to sell me Bloodlust about a year back, but I'm not buying it.
Well,
Not buying it from him, not buying it from you, but I would love to see that.
instant Q-Build Vala come up. Oh, that dream is dead. But
Really? Q-Build?
no,
No?
I'm not painting that picture.
No, not going to happen. There is Emerald Win anyway. How is that? Okay, maybe you're right. I don't right-click Vala.
Well, we're going to find out. Zul'jin waiting. Again, this is live patch. So Zul'jin contemplating his level 1 pickup because you can go instead. He's going to go the traditional you want axe. Building that up, which Stitches will be standing there. Will be an easy target.
Yep. And does not have much mobility on the Stitches as well. So it'll be pretty easy for Capricorn to just chip that down. The key thing here is if you're going to really dive, there's only the Illidan. The way I look at it, it's probably going to be a hook in both teams going to play it slow. We'll have to see how this is going to work out. And so far, Malthil bottom, though, not going to go top lane.
And the whole thing about Malthil is that he'll win a 1v1 against Illidan. Tassadar, you kind of want in this 4-man rotation because of the Vala. And for Deadlykittens, I'd actually like to see a 3-2 split. You don't have a tremendous amount of wave clear on the side of Resurgence. So I would love to see a 3-2 split, and it looks like that's what they're going to go for. Put a little bit of pressure onto the bottom lane, just kind of meet in the middle, find that skirmish if it's available, but don't overcommit to anything in the early game because you're just going to lose out either in the solo lane or potentially the 4-man.
Okay, mid lane, though, some damage on the Vala. Confidence taking a bit too much damage, and Juno going to be fine, though. And Vala going back down to the bottom lane now. Malthil pulling back out.
Yeah, going into that, I like that a lot. You know, we see, the fact that you're going to go up against the Web Weavers, you're going to be dealing with a lot of wave clear. We're seeing single target build into the auto attacks for Tassadar. And his auto attacks are recently nerfed, not going Scion Fusion to try and get that AoE onto that Psy Storm. It's incredibly easy to complete on this one because of the rotation in lanes, but opting for that single target damage. We'll see how that plays out as the game goes on.
All right, almost level 3 hit here by Resurgence, and again, they're pulling back. NSG takes a bit of a beating. Zappy with the stun. Capricorn takes too much damage, though, from those hungering arrows. We'll be able to heal Capricorn up a little bit. And you're right, it looks like Resurgence just completely stopped rotating lanes and just going to soak up lanes individually.
I think the way these compositions play out, Illidan is hoping to make it to the late game, wants to make it to that late game, just to try and open up the map. Get the Web Weavers to open up the map. Allow him room to work, room to play. He wants to play with Stitches here. I just really worry about the fact that you have the Polymorph, and because we're seeing double support, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Divine Storm to deal with the Illidan, which scares me a lot.
You have to see who's on the Uther.
Zappy.
Yeah,
of course.
90% Divine Storm.
It's like, listen, I know this might be better, but I'm Zappy and I like making plays, so Divine Storm seems a lot better to me.
Yeah. All right, Capricorn, some right clicks there. Just Vala going down. Wonder how that happened.
T-Tors. Either way, slight experience advantage in favor of Resurgence, who's continued to be aggressive, leading the charge as Zappy on his mount there, coming in, look for the stun, doesn't have it, there it is. The stun into the Polymorph onto Jinwoo, who's being body blocked by his own team. Uther goes down, we've got a 1-for-1 trade there. Rhaegar not able to make it out.
I like how Zappy's playing everything. He's playing Uther. Any normal support player would have stunned that target, the first one you see. But he held onto it, moved all the way to the mid lane, still held onto it forever, and finally landed it on one target. Traded his life for it because of the hook, though, so still full credits to Stitches. I think Stronger did a great job there, but mid lane, though, some fights going on. Stitches taking a bit of a damage. We'll be okay. Yu Yang sidesteps the hook. And the spray's coming out, Jihao.
You know, just kind of put out a little bit, let them know that you were here. This is my territory. I'm taking over. Inavir trying to get a turn in. Both teams with enough gems. Yu Yang not able to scout that out in time. Stronger trying to interrupt at the bottom, but only 3 gems away, not able to get there. Resurgence trying to get close. The engage onto the bush there.
Okay. 4-man bottom side. Tyrell's probably just going to be able to buy a little bit more time. Enver dropping a little bit more HP. As that thing goes in, going to be very careful. Again, the Soul Rip, and Yu Yang swings by to say hi. This is where they turn in for Web Weavers to spawn and further cement their lead. Some access going in face of confidence. NSG pulling back once more. They're gone.
Inavir got a little bit baited. Again, winning a 1v1 against a Malthil is not easy, and generally Malthil wins that. And the fact that I think he was playing around his evasion, trying to get that healing up just a little bit, playing a little bit too close to the bush there as Smite went down. Inavir, a little bit of overconfidence himself there.
Okay. Blue Web Weavers coming out right about now. Zazen swings by the mid side. Tries to avoid the hook. Stronger looking for an opportunity. Capricorn with the flank coming in. Illidan top lane by himself. Malthil goes back up to deal with him.
Well, our first Web Weavers will be pushing here. Experience rather even. But again, you got to see what value you can get out of this. The defense I think will be definitely in favor of the Tassadar and the Vala on the side of Deadlykittens when it comes to defending against the Web Weavers. See how that plays out here, but sieging up with a double support Zul'Jin, we'll see how aggressive they want to be to try and potentially get a kill here the same way we saw in the last game. NSJ.
Whoa, NSJ. Capricorn takes out a small wall. Very, very nicely done. Zappy again looking for potential on a stun. Capricorn goes in for a little bit more extra right-click damage. Web Weaver probably going to drop real soon, but don't think they're going to be able to take any more forts. Capricorn pulling back out. Jinwoo goes for a very aggressive maneuver. Capricorn nearly dropping their Zappy, having to pull back out. Jinwoo looking for a bite. Meowpaw keeping Zappy up alive. Zappy finally uses the stun. We see some axes coming out. Jinwoo dropping a little bit. Meowpaw going to be okay. Capricorn just not getting some extra heals from that Brightwing. Top lane still. Top lane. Singleton dropping a little bit. Zesan going to be very careful now. Oh, the soul rip, and it's going to be enough. Illidan will drop. Zesan does to pull back. Web Weaver's already gone. And we see that Stingo being used in the bottom side. Stitcher swings by to the top side as well, and Deadlykittens split up. Level 10 is being hit.
Fable. Level 10, level 8. Not quite level 10 yet for Deadlykittens. Going to be hard to deny. Only 7 gems away for Resurgence. Potentially that double Web Weaver turn in. Deadlykittens going to get desperate or no? I painted the picture earlier.
Yep. Do you think it's going to be bloodlust?
I hope not. Not against the Sanctification Divine Shield.
Yu Yang. Oh, with the flang.
Look, I just wanted to get you to see if I could get you to believe. Just believe that it could happen.
No.
But against the Sanctification Divine Shield, Emerald win, that would be probably the worst possible thing you could do.
Zesan giving chase now. Meowpop's already in position. There goes the Polymorph on the stronger. Top side, the fort's still standing. And Zesan's going to be able to pull back. If the fort's down, he's probably going to give chase, though. Yu Yang looking for a secondary turn in right here. Capricorn with 10 gems and 54 gems in the hand here for Deadlykittens and still trying to stay alive, but they don't really have the map open up for them just yet. And once again, a second batch of Web Weaver going to descend here for the blue team. This is where it either goes really well for Resurgence or DK is still in the game.
Well, we got Stronger picking up Gorge here. He's going to Gorge directly onto that. Should see the Hunt potentially out of that, but that is Tyrael, so no Hunt going to be... Oh, there's the Hunt directly on a Tyrael, who's actually going to go down there. You see Malthil diving in, putting all kinds of pressure. Jinwoo and team trying to back up. Inavir's looking for a fight, though, as Ancestrals has now been used.
Zesan going to be able to pull back out. Ember Wing coming out. The Stingo also being used. Confidence now zapping away, but Capricorn's going to be okay.
Could have been a lot worse, I think, for Resurgence. The fact that Taz Dingo was used, no evasion there to really keep Illidan up. He was dropped way too low despite the Ancestral. I think the rest of the team wasn't quite ready to follow up. But they do defend against the Web Weavers. Top one's cleared up, bottom getting good value. They'll need to clear up the middle here. But if you look on the side of Deadlykittens, the fact that they were able to take that fight around that same time, it hasn't allowed Resurgence to kind of posture up and do that siege damage that you would expect them to do with the Web Weaver, but Stitches.
The flank coming in. Jinwoo takes a bit of damage from the Web Weavers. Kamehameha. NSJ does go down. Stronger pulls back out. Confidence now without that dimensional shift. Is going to be able to pull back out, but still very minimal structure lead here for Resurgence. At best, I think he can take down the mid area. Uther does go down. One does wonder what he's doing there. Probably the Gorge.
Right now, Deadlykittens, they're not far off from 13. Resurgence doesn't have enough gems for turn-in.
Yeah, they didn't kill
the Uther's down. So they have an opportunity for turn-in. Even now, because you're holding on to so many gems, sometimes it's best just to get one turn-in to push forward on the map. You're not going to get a lot of value. Push forward on the map, regain control, get that 13. You don't necessarily have to wait for 13 to get value. Some teams are willing to commit to that. Some aren't. Deadlykittens, they seem to be sitting on their gems, pushing the lanes out a little bit, trying to get more value out of that. But I think that they might run into a little bit of defense here. Zesan trying to get the interrupt. Stronger, not willing to commit to the turn-in, though.
Lots of value. Zappy's back out here already. And top lane, though, Yu Yang going to be fine. Here we have the phase shift coming in. And Enever, a little bit of trouble. The cleanse does come out. Yu Yang again giving chase. Zesan not able to land much of anything in the backside. Pulls back out. And you can see Deadlykittens is just playing very safe. They know if they lose the gem, they're probably in a bad spot. So they do their best to make sure that they don't.
They're holding on to him for now. Siege Giants were picked up at the bottom. Illidan kind of waiting in the wings, not willing to show himself just yet. You can see on the minimap, he's trying to backdoor turn in. I think he should be able to get that. The rest of the team just needs to stay alive in the meantime. He'll rotate over, clear out the Siege Giants, but Confidence in a bad spot. Should have a dimensional shift to get on out of there, if needed.
Bit of a slow. It's going to be able to pull back out. Looking for the hook stronger, though. Posturing up. First set of Web Weaver coming out here for Deadlykittens. The bottom side, Siege Giants. Let's check in on them. It should be pretty okay. I don't think the bottom lane's going to have much of a pressure early on, but still the Gorge by Stronger. He's going to try and make it to the gate. Yu Yang, going to be all right.
I mean, Gorge in Ethereal is...
It's
not really something you want to do too often. You don't have the follow-up. You didn't go Force Wall to lock anybody in, and you have Eldruins to hop over that anyways. So instead, we're going to have the red Web Weavers. Confidence holding on to 44 gems you see there. Illidan has now postured up. He's pushing the bottom wave. But if he finds an opportunity, look for him to join the fight here. Zappy very far forward.
Yeah, Zappy got to be very careful. Stronger coming in, giving chase. The slams coming in as well. Top and mid Web Weavers are cleared out without much of a value for Deadlykittens. They need to make sure the bottom one count. And Ever takes a bit of a damage as well. And Zappy, too far forward. Got to be very careful. Zappy still. But Zasan from the backside. Zappy still alive. Zappy still going in. Zappy does have the Divine Storm. No, Divine Shield uses it. Dragar goes down. Zasan gives chase to the backside. And it seems like Enver's going to try and pull back out. The Sanctification is already being used. Confidence with 47 gem is able to pull back out. Meowpoke gets hooked. Probably going to die there. They want to go for the gem instead. And Meowpoke will go down here. 4 gems. In trade for 47, Yu Yang just right-clicking away. Zappy swings by. Dimensional shift, not going to be used. 47 gems. Once again, I repeat, ladies and gentlemen, the markets have crashed.
Oh, no. Inavir just sweeping strikes right through. Friend or foe on that dive, trying to get out of there. And
he hooked the stun to his face. Oh, man.
That is problematic, to say the least, as several gems have gone down. Only 6 remain.
Several's an understatement, J-How. The markets have crashed. We hereby repeat.
Picking a fight in a choke point on the enemy side of the map with a Tyrael Sanctification, a Tormented Souls Mouth Ale is such a terrible thing to do. And yet they were willing to commit to it. I don't understand the reasoning. You already had pushed the map out. You forced them to respawn bottom. You could have rotated to the top turn-in, tried to get back-to-back turn-ins. Instead, you risk everything for a team fight in a choke on the enemy side of the map. Deadlykittens just being way too aggressive there, and Resurgence doing a really good job of turning that around.
There's a good punishment because they lost all of their gems, and at this point, Resurgence does have a bit of a gem lead here. Meowpoke going to be very, very careful not to get hooked again. The bottom side, the Mercenary is going to get picked up again by ZN, and we also have got Deadlykittens just posturing over the mid lane. A little lost right now. See ZN turning in. Oh, hook does not connect.
That's the thing. Deadlykittens from now on, they're forced to take fights. They're not yet 16. They got to be careful of that holy ground. It's going to zone them out. Zessen's going to go ahead and get the channel. They're just a few off is Resurgence from being able to turn in to get that next Web Weaver phase. Keeps will start to be threatened from Web Weavers from here on. They get that big power spike at minute 15, but we are a minute short, 50 seconds short, seeing if they'll wait for that or try and just go ahead and turn in and take their 16-tier advantage.
I think they'll just do that. And Ever goes for the boss, though. Is it wise?
No, I mean, it's going to be... The boss shows on the minimap. The minute the Web Weavers spawn, or even it turns in, it shows when camps are active. There's no way you could do that.
Yeah, all right. So this is where Resurgence needs to make sure they get at least a keep, or it's going to be inflation against Resurgence.
Well, the defense here for Deadlykittens, a little bit easier with level 16, picked up by Deadlykittens. Stronger, missing out on the hook. Again, it was on, or it was attempted onto Tyrael. Trying to get that hook Gorge, trying to get that blow up. Instead, they're faced with a tough defense here, and they're going to make their stand middle. Illidan the whole time, though, in the bottom. Going to clear that up, look for that. There's the hook Gorge, but again, that is onto Tyrael.
Yu Yang. Okay, he's going to go down. Yeah, pretty good combo right there. Still not much anything Resurgence could do.
I'm surprised they didn't commit to the Sanctification there.
Yeah, well, probably just didn't want to waste that. Still, Illidan now could actually easily come up here for a 4v5. The hook does not connect. Resurgence pulls back out. They got the gates, but nothing more than that. Bottom lane, though, Illidan, you don't want to hunt. You're going to get hunted. Okay, he pulls back.
They're going to get a little bit more experience. This is a really well-played moment for Resurgence. They'll get the 2 towers. They'll get a little bit of experience, increase that race towards 20. They got to drop back. They got to be careful to get out of here a little bit quicker. But is Deadlykittens about to make a play for the boss? I feel, yeah, they're going for the boss. The problem is Jinwoo walking way too close to the minions. If you are trying to get to the boss and sneak in a boss, you absolutely 100% cannot show to minions there. Now, an instant rotation up. You have a holy ground. You have Emerald Wind. You have all the tools in the world to deny this from Deadlykittens. Instead, Deadlykittens is looking for a fight. Zassin is on there. Bala is already down, Babel.
Confidence. Able to stay alive a little bit. Endeavor with the, I don't know what's this left here. But Illidan able to pull back out. Confidence will go down. And once more, 4 men down. Free boss for RSG. Well, they just walked in there and did nothing. Yeah.
There is absolutely, if you're making a play for that boss, there is no way. If I am in comms, I am screaming, do not show to minions. If anything, you use one person to grab the minions and make it look like you're not going there. Instead, they just walk right past it. You saw them proxy the minions. Now there's 20 seconds left, a full health boss. And just like that, Resurgence, it's like, thanks.
Is that big? It's going to be okay. So we have the core in a bad spot. I repeat, core in bad spot. Boss knocking down. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, day number 1 has come to an end. We're both wrong. It's 2-0 for Resurgence now. Kept it up pretty well.
I didn't say 2-1, Babel.
Okay, okay.
I got evidence. Recorded. It's live on the internet.
All right, so still, Deadlykittens are not out, but congratulations to Resurgence. They make it to the grand finals with a very healthy extra life there. Given the fact that even if they win, even if they lose the first game tomorrow in the grand finals, they still have to play the rubber set. So I know you are very much little things like walking past minion tilts you so much.
The whole thing is, yes, Resurgence wins today, and they move on to the finals.
They do.
The upper bracket finals. But I'm not just the fact that Deadlykittens, that is not the Deadlykittens. Even in our matches we saw earlier, we saw them execute different compositions much better than that. Even in the first game, just because they didn't see the results didn't mean that they didn't execute it properly. Yes, they lost the game. It's just Resurgence played really well. Resurgence played really well this game too. But I feel Deadlykittens, if you take away that fight that they tried to take at the bottom left, and you take away that really weird boss call right there, that's not even a bad boss call, it's just the manner in which they took it. You take away those 2 moments, and you just say, I've got a little bit cleaner game, then this looks a lot better for Deadlykittens. So we're actually going to take another look at a replay here of that last game, hopefully the deciding team fight that we saw there between Deadlykittens and Resurgence. It's just, you walk right past the minions. Look at that. That one minion's like, hey, guys, is there a party up here? Am I invited?
Friends?
Friends? But you're trying to steal a boss against Holy Ground Tyrael, Divine Shield Uther, Tormented Souls Malthael, and Emerald Wind Brightwing. That is impossible to do.
All right, so regardless, it was a good attempt by Deadlykittens. I think they did whatever they could, minus a little bit key mistakes here and there, like walking past minions and other stuff like taking unnecessary bot lane fights. But they played really well against Blizzcon, and I would love to see this kind of aggression again tomorrow. But that's it. We're done for today. And we'd like to bring you the brackets once more. Rest of the match is going to be up again tomorrow on Sunday, and that is 11 a.m. local time, Singapore time. That's GMT +8. And for all of you guys living in the U.S., I think it is 16 hours behind. 16 hours behind.
12 on the East Coast.
12 on the East Coast.
15 on the West Coast.
15 on the West Coast. That's right. So let me do a little bit of a math there. It is going to be your time, 5 p.m., I think.
11 to 11, buddy.
11 to 11, and then you bring it back by 8 p.m. 8 p.m.
8 p.m. For the West Coast people.
For the West Coast, that's right. East Coast, 11.
5 a.m. for Central Europe.
5 a.m.
I'm hitting everybody, man.
All right, the brackets look as such. We got with us here a total of 5 matches on stream tomorrow, not including a rubber set. Deadlykittens, they will be in the lower bracket finals, waiting for worthy challenger Playstorm and Detergents in the second round of the lower brackets, and on some CBZAC and Pagey. Sorry, what CBZAC means is Corgi Bread Loaf. Pagey and the gang versus Dracon is going to happen first. The Playstorm, Detergent's going to wait for whoever wins the bracket and advance accordingly. Do know what's at stake here is the road to BlizzCon, man. So you want to win this, you want to represent Southeast Asia, and do your best on the world stage. Of course, I would never have dreamt that Deadlykittens would drop down to lower brackets.
Look, I'll say this. PlayStomp gave Deadlykittens a run for their money, money earlier, but Detergents surprised me so much today.
Yeah.
I was really impressed with them. And, they actually played Resurgence really well.
Yeah. Much better than Deadlykittens did.
Yeah,
just saying.
Quite a bit. I would not be surprised if Detergents makes their way. There was a lot they did right today.
Are you saying?
I'm just saying there's potential for an upset, even coming back. I was really impressed. Generally you kind of hit, that mid-tier and you're wondering, all right, do they really have a chance? Detergents actually showed a lot. If you missed the earlier part of the day, they actually showed a lot. They had really good macro awareness, really good drafting, really good awareness overall in team fights, and there was a lot they did right today. So I'm actually looking forward to that one tomorrow. I would not be surprised if they show up tomorrow. I mean, they could easily just go out 0-2. They could easily make it to the lower bracket finals, right? I mean, that's the thing with SCA is you never know, right?
You never know.
But with that team in particular, I would say that if there's a dark horse of this tournament, Detergents is it. Weird name, but strong play today.
What Jehao is explaining in layman terms is he's predicting that there's a possibility that Detergent's going to beat Deadlykittens, and we'll have the Detergents versus Resurgence grand
We had
finals.
that earlier, and it was terrible to call both team names.
I'm not going to look forward to that, but man, the best team wins, and I really hope that the teams that had a very good experience today, they go back. It's less than 12 hours, I think, no, 15 hours before the next match tomorrow, and they rest up well, they keep the momentum going, they do some last-minute adjustments, and tomorrow's going to be exciting. So, in a nutshell, stay tuned, and we'll see you again tomorrow. This is Babel, joining me, Jehao. We'll be back again. See you tomorrow.